Here are 25 detailed sentences about the culinary history of North Carolina. North Carolina's rich culinary history is shaped by its unique geography and cultural influences. The state's fertile soil and mild climate made it an ideal place for farming and trade, setting the stage for a diverse food scene. The earliest European settlers in North Carolina were primarily English, with many coming from England and Ireland. These early arrivals brought their own traditions of cooking and agriculture, which would eventually blend with African and Native American cuisines. Corn was a staple crop among the indigenous tribes, including the Algonquians and Iroquois, who taught early European settlers how to plant and harvest it. The introduction of wheat and tobacco led to the development of more refined grains and culinary traditions. In coastal areas, seafood became a staple food source for many families, thanks to the abundance of fish and shellfish in the Atlantic Ocean. The Chowan County Oyster Stew is an example of this tradition. With its rich broth made from oysters, cream, and herbs, African American cooks played a significant role in shaping North Carolina's cuisine, particularly in the use of okra and hot peppers. Enslaved Africans brought their own cooking techniques and ingredients to the state, including hogmaw, a dish made from boiled cornmeal and pig's feet. The Lowcountry region is famous for its traditional Gullah Geechee cuisine, which reflects the cultural exchange between enslaved Africans and European colonizers. In contrast, the Piedmont region has a more diverse culinary history, influenced by German and Scottish immigrants who settled in the area. The sweet potato became a staple crop in North Carolina, particularly during the Civil War era when many people couldn't afford meat or other expensive protein sources. Barbecue culture emerged in eastern North Carolina, where whole hog cooking was popularized in the 17th century. This tradition spread to western North Carolina, where pork shoulder became the preferred cut for slow-cooked barbecue. The state's iconic Brunswick Stew recipe is thought to have originated from African American cooks who adapted traditional English stew recipes to use local ingredients like corn and beans. In the early 20th century, the rise of commercial food processing in North Carolina led to the development of packaged foods, like Jell-O and potato chips. The 1950s and 60s saw a surge in popular roadside diners and restaurants, many of which still serve classic Southern comfort food today. Regional specialties like shrimp and grits from eastern North Carolina reflect the state's connection to coastal cuisine. In western North Carolina, hearty dishes like braised pork ribs with apples showcase the region's Germanic culinary influences. Modern chefs in North Carolina continue to innovate and experiment with traditional recipes, incorporating local ingredients and creative twists into modern Southern cuisine. The annual Taste of Charlotte Festival celebrates the state's rich food heritage with a diverse array of vendors serving up everything from barbecue to soul food. Visitors to the state can still experience many of these culinary traditions firsthand by visiting historic sites like the North Carolina Museum of History or attending festivals like the Barbecue Festival in Lexington. Despite its rich history and cultural diversity, North Carolina's cuisine remains largely unassuming and down to earth.